we are making this AI going like a patrol pattern, and we can aggro him, and when we get out of range, he will go back to walk his pattern all the way up in the forest and all the way back. So now when we got the actually gizmos drawn up and everything, we are ready to make the enemy walk this path. So we will go into our script and we will go into the AI controller and open that. And we will gonna add a bit to the patrolling behavior. So we already have going to guard point equals to true. Then we will have serialized field public patrol gun. What did we call this with? Oh, we need the using RPG control that public patrol pattern patrol pattern, and then we need serialized field float close to waypoint equal to 3f. I can actually do 1.5f. And then we will make a public vector tree and call it next next position that, and then we will go. We also have int current waypoint index is equal to 0. That, and then we will go a bit down and create the behavior. So let's see. Let's just make it actually here in the bottom. So private void patrol behavior that, and I think we just made the guard behavior, not here. Didn't do that. Okay, but we will say next position is equal to the AI mover dot my. Let's see, we call it AI mover, AI mover dot. Let's see what we call it in here. Spawn point, my position guard, call it. So take that. My, I didn't make it public, so gonna be a public, and my position guard. So right now we just say that the next position is the position we already have, and if patrol path pattern is not equal to null, then we should do something. So if we have a control pattern, well, then we're gonna say if any waypoint that, and then we're gonna make a new private void any waypoint that. Just gonna take the name and put it in here. Actually have to be a bool that, and then in the bool we are gonna say float, and we have done this before, distance to waypoint is equal to vector tree dot distance transform dot position, and then get current waypoint point that, and then return distance waypoint close to waypoint. Okay, so now we need to create the get any waypoint. So take that as well, and we will see private vector tree that return control pattern get something called position waypoint current waypoint index. Let's see what we actually called it in the patrol pattern. We got private. This one is private, so this needs to be public. This one also needs to be public, and we need to take this name, put it back here like that. Okay, on to the next one. So we are going to cycle through the waypoints. So we need to make that. So we're gonna make a private void cycle waypoint. That, and we're gonna say current waypoint index is equal to patrol pattern dot get next index current index. So it will take the next index after the current index, and then we will up here add if any point that will say cycle waypoints, cycle waypoint, and then we will say next position is equal to get waypoint like that. And I think that could be all to it for now. So this is the main part of the coding where it's gonna loop through all the positions and toggle around. And then we need to say when is he going to do this behavior. So patrol behavior should be done up around here. I think in this area where it's also searching for the target. So search target, and we're gonna say if patrol pattern is not equal to a null, then you can do the patrol behavior like that. And if target doesn't have to follow target, that seems fine. And I think we're gonna add a statement up here, turning to point. Let's see. Going to guard point. Okay. Let's see. Just thinking about how we want to approach this. So let's see. Let's make if. Let's see, where is it again? Going to guard point. If going to guard point is equal to true, then it should do this behavior. And else if going to guard point equals to false, it should do another behavior. And this is when the control pattern is also equal to null. So we don't have control pattern. and then we're gonna say elf is going to guard point equals false, and control pattern is not equal to null. That's And so these are the three options we have. We have an option where we can set it to go back to the guarding point. We have an option where it should not go back to the guarding point, and we need to calculate them. So I'm not sure why we call it guarding point though. Let's see, where did we use it as? We haven't used it here though. Did we use it in here? Now it's transform. If everyone is true, everyone is true, then get never set my position guard. As if I was set it to spawn pointer. Oh, okay. Maybe I should leave a note at that and say toggle between going to a point or back to its place. That. Okay. So the first one will calculate the distance between the AI spawn point, like this. Mm, I don't think this should be called turn to spawn point instead. Do we have a return to spawn? Turn to spawn. Something with spawn distance. So, oh, we just have to wait there. Okay. Let's see. So if return spawn point is true, if it's false. So if it's true, we're gonna take the distance between the spawn point and this, and then return false. And if it's false, we can do something like distance to last position equal to vector 3 dot distance dot AI mover dot my guard position transform dot position that, and if that distance distance to and if this distance is less than 2, then we do something. Okay, so why do we get an error here? So the name does not exist in the current context. See for distance to spawn. See, this one is distance to spawn, and we can make a new float. Actually, we don't have to make a new float, we just have to use the same name. So, like that, because these two can both be true and happen at the same time. So, let's rename that distance to point instead. Okay, and then return name to point is to false. And then we have a third option, where it is distance to, let's see, AI move. So instead we're gonna take the distance to the next position, and we can also take the distance to the current. Now it's gonna be the next, and say if that is less than 2, then it's also false. So now we had 3 ways of saying the turning point is equal to false, and when it should echo. And then I actually think we have a lot of stuff going on, so I'm just checking if it makes sense. Then we have this part, yeah, and chase and return and patrol. Okay, so I think inside the AI mover we have to make some if statements so we are sure that it doesn't bug out. So we have when it should stop chase, we have this part, and then we have the AI control dot responding to point is equal to true, and then we can take this one, put in here, and then we have else if AI spawn equals to false, and AI control dot control pattern is equal to nothing, and we can put these two in there as well. And then we have the last one, if AI control dot return to point is equal to false, and AI control dot control pattern is not equal to null. Then we can do this. So I think we actually messed these two up, but I will see soon. Set destination to AI control dot next position. Yeah, I think maybe later we're gonna change it to the place it got pulled. Okay, let's test it out. So we have this big guy, and we probably gonna move our plane spawn point a bit. Oh, he's gonna aggro us instantly. So move that over there. And the golem, I have a patrol pattern like that, and it's set not to return to spawn point. And just to see what's gonna happen. So nothing. So let's see what happens if we get close. Aggroing it. It goes back. So when you test it out, nothing happens, and it's because we forgot one line of code. So in the AI controller, we are going to using the Unity engine.ai, and then we're gonna go down all the way to here. We have next position is equal to current, and then we're gonna say down here that get component nav mesh agent dot set destination. That destination is equal to next position, and that line of code should make it work. So he goes to the first point, then to the next point. and he goes all the way. Let's see if he also goes back. He's coming back, and we're gonna see if we can aggro him and challenge him to a fight. We can challenge him. Starts to smack us. The only thing that we maybe want to do here at the end is just to kind of stress test it in various ways. So we have quite the distance of chasing. Now he's going back. So I don't think he does damage to me either. So health 100. So we aggro him again. No. The reason he doesn't do health is because inside the animation, the attack, I think we use the attack one, don't we? Attack 2 actually. Inside attack 2 on the golem. Let's just go down to him. We haven't added the hit yet. So like there, we're gonna add an event. And so enemy hit on. Finally, we're going to this. Yeah, and now I think I also get some damage. Yep, just a few more of those and I'm ready to die. Yeah, just because it actually stopped it midair. Yeah, great, that works.